Thank you, Holly. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. And I want to ask a question: is it really August? I mean, has this weather not been incredible? It's been a joyful, joyful weather lately, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful to see you all here, those of you online and those right in front of me. As you know, in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Take a centering breath, open to the divine in all of us, and listen to this prayer. With full hearts and minds and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as co-creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing, and of transformation, and so it is. Amen. As you know, our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, please see Gail in the new chaplain's office after today's service. The office is just off the platform to the right of the podium. When chaplains are ready to see you, they will stand outside the office door and be visible to the whole sanctuary. During prayers, the door to the office will remain open for the comfort of all. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Just place the purple prayer request slip in the wooden box outside the office. Remember, all prayers are confidential. Now, let's join Holly in singing "In Beauty May I Walk." Please stand as you're able.
Good morning. In beauty may I walk all day long. May I walk through the joy, in joy. May I walk in love. May I walk in gratitude. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in stillness. May I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in love and kindness. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace.
Thank you, Holly, and thank all of you for your fantastic singing. I'm serious. It's great. And now it's time for our unity intentions. Please affirm with me unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement together. In divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement together. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now please welcome one of our favorites, John Keck.
Thank you. I realized after I sat down that I was early, which is unusual for me, so thanks. Thank you. I'm going to switch it up. Do you want to do dance with me? Since we were just walking, I'm not supposed to talk very long, so I'm sorry if I ramble. I can make this song as short as you like, and by no means feel obligated to act on the words or the lyrics, but I just wanted to say that when you're walking with people, you're able to have a conversation and you're able to connect with them. And the next best thing, I think, is dancing with them. So I wrote this song out of the idea that we're always dancing with each other. And how can I get you to dance with me, just by listening? As pretty as they come, there is so much to say. I could write a song about you every day, like this one right now. This one is for you. Dance with me. I ask you patiently. Looking for that great minds think alike kind of moment in my night where I can lay down my defenses and everything is alright. Like saying words that are true. These are feelings I only find when I'm dancing with you. So dance with me. Please, I will play for you in any key. Dance with me, oh, on the 1 and 3. It's just you and me.
special kind of dime, that extra shine. I thought you only existed in my mind. Maybe for a song, maybe for our lives. I won't ask for anything beyond what feels right. Dance with me. I'm waiting patiently.
Thank you, John. Reverend Anna Shouse, PhD, let me start this again. Reverend Anna Shouse, PhD, is ordained Unity minister who has joyfully served ministries and ministry leaders since 1995. Her focus is the development of sustainable, enlivened spiritual communities utilizing Unity's Christ-centered principles integrated with self-awareness and healthy relationship skills. Reverend Anna is active in service and teaching in the Unity movement. Reverend Anna holds a doctorate in communication and human relations from the University of Kansas and an MA in addiction counseling from the Hazelden Betty Ford Graduate School of Addiction Studies. Please welcome Reverend Anna.
Go Jayhawks, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, John, and thank you, Holly. It's beautiful. Thank you, our team back there. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. Is the sound good? Too loud, too soft? Needs to go up some? Okay, thanks. All right, so let's just take a moment and center ourselves again, center ourselves in that awareness of the divine, feeling that presence, and allowing ourselves to open our hearts and minds to that deep reality, that deep spiritual essence that's who we are. Just take a moment in the quiet. Thank you, God. Amen. I use the word God. I don't mean some guy sitting up on a cloud, so whatever. You can use whatever word. Okay, so in Unity, we use affirmations. We use affirmative statements, constructive statements that help us align our thoughts with the deeper spiritual reality. So I'm going to invite you to affirm this with me today as we get started. All right, so here it is. My Christ light knows the way. And by the Christ light, we mean that spiritual essence within us. In Unity, the Christ is the term we use for that spiritual identity. You can use whatever term you want, it's okay. But let's affirm this together if you're willing, either quietly or out loud, and we'll do it 3 times. Here we go. My Christ light knows the way. Affirm it again. My Christ light knows the way. Take a moment, soak that in, feel that light that's who you are. And let's affirm it again, aligning ourselves with that deep truth. My Christ light knows the way. Do you believe that? Good. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Don't ever give a talk up here, because when you give a talk, whatever the topic is you're going to live it. And, woo! The last few weeks, I've been living this. Okay. All right. I will spare you the details. Okay. The Spanish mystic, St. John of the Cross, wrote this. He said, if a person wants to be sure of the road that they are treading on, they must close their eyes and walk in the dark. If a person wants to be sure of the road that they're treading on, they must close their eyes and walk in the dark. Really? Thank you. No. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? It's like, what are you talking about? Well, this is what I've been living. Again, I'll spare you the details. What he's talking about is that when it gets really dark, we are forced to find the light. John, you were singing about connection. That's what this is about. It's about connection. When it gets really dark, we are forced, usually against our outer will, to find the light. And where does that light live? Inside of us, right? When we all have problems. Can you agree to that one? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. We've all got problems, you know. Maybe you got an illness. Maybe your children or your grandchildren are having problems one way or the other. Maybe there's too much month at the end of the money. Maybe, you know, the society that we're living in is experiencing, whoa, what is this, okay? Or maybe that, you know, the weather's not right or whatever it is. We've all got problems. And when I got a problem, I got to tell you something. What I want is I want to feel better. And I want it to go away. I want it to get fixed. I want either me to fix it or somebody out there to fix it. And I just want to feel better, and I want things to go on. I want it to be like it was, right? Well, when that's going on, it can feel really dark. And we'll try everything and anything, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But we'll say, well, maybe I could tweak this, or maybe I could tweak that, or maybe I could convince my partner or spouse to act better. Good luck with that one, right? Yeah. All right, good luck. All right. Surely there's something I can do, and we make a lot of outer efforts. And there's nothing particularly wrong with that. It's just that at some point, the tweaking does not work. Have you noticed that? It just doesn't work. And that's the part where we say things like, man, I'm in the dark. I don't know. And St. John of the Cross is saying, woo, good. You got your eyes closed, finally. You know? You say, I give up. And the divine says, good, now I can take over. Phew. So what happens when we get to the end of that, when we get to the end of all the tweaking that we know how to do, and we're worn out and exhausted and we're mad at ourselves and everybody else, if we just are willing, that divine begins to pop through and we begin to have this glimmer that there is something beyond the material world. Now, I know you know that because that's why you're sitting here in a Unity church on a Sunday morning. I know you know that, and I know you've had this experience many times. And the opportunity in spiritual growth is simply that we continue to grow, that we continue to deepen, that it continues to get wider and deeper and larger, that we get it, that what we're living in this material world is an expression of that spiritual life. And so that when we want things to really transform, when we want things to truly be solved and resolved, that we go into that deeper place. That's what St. John is talking about. If we really want to be sure where to go, if we really want to know what to do, if we really want to be confident in the path that we're walking, then go, hooray, I'm in the dark, and let that inner light come through. Because we're making that connection with the power of capital L life that lives within us and within everything and everybody around us. And that, friends, is where the solutions begin to come. Now, in my life, it's like, man, I just want the problems to go away. But God is tricky. And so problems are the gateway, if we will allow it. I mean, you have to be pretty stubborn, and some of us are. I'll give us credit, you know. But you have to be at least a teeny-weeny bit willing, and if you are, then that light begins to burst through. I'll tell you a little bit of my own story. I think I may have shared a little bit of this before. But 44 years ago, yay, hooray, I was having one, I was like, man, I'm in the dark. I don't know where I'm going here. I was having an experience with a boyfriend whose use of alcohol and other drugs was creating many problems for me. I was having a big reaction to that. I'm here to tell you. And I was turning into somebody that I didn't like. There's an advertisement for the recovery resources for families and friends of people that have the disease of alcoholism, and it says, you can see what the alcohol is doing to him. Can you see what it's doing to you? That got my attention. Because I'm like, oh man, look what it's doing to me, what I'm doing to me. I'm reacting, I am angry, I am mean, I am resentful. You know, I've had enough, and I don't like who I'm turning into. This isn't who I thought I was, and it surely isn't who I want to be. And I was doing everything. I was convinced if I could get him to stop drinking, life would be good. And it would all go back to how I wanted it to be. I had it all mapped out, you know. Well, that didn't happen. That wasn't where he was at. And so some friends of mine suggested that perhaps I needed help. I'm like, me? Of course not. Anyway, so I began. Now, he needs help. But you know why I listened to him? Because they had already walked this road. They had walked the road. They'd been in the dark, and they'd had the light, and they were telling me their own experience, strength, and hope. So that's why I trusted them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. So I did. So I started to get some help. And what began to happen to me, I mean, I just wanted to solve the problem. I just wanted to feel better. I just wanted to get, I was so stuck. I just wanted to get unstuck. So I'm like, okay, God, I'll do this. So let's just fix it and move on here. But something else happened, and that's the gift of the divine. Something else amazing happened. And what happened was when I just came to fix the problem, what I got was the gift of my own life. I didn't know I had a life. But I got the gift of my own life because that connection with the divine in me, and I was beginning to read some Unity materials at that time as well, beginning to attend a Unity church a little bit at that time, and beginning to understand a few things about the power of spirit within me, and so I began to have a life. It was a newsflash to me that I could have a life. So I began to understand that I have gifts, I have talents, I have responsibilities, and I have rights, and I have to take care of myself. And so I went to solve my problem, but what happened was I got the gift of my own life. Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of our Unity movement with her husband Charles Fillmore back in the late 1800s, Myrtle had a problem. Myrtle was in her early 40s. She had 3 little boys. She was married to Charles Fillmore, which must have been a trip, okay? And I like Charles Fillmore, by the way, but I can't imagine. Okay. And he'd already dragged her to Colorado, to the silver mines, to Pueblo, Colorado. I'm sure they were living in a tent, and at some point Myrtle said, no, we're not doing that anymore, Charles. And they moved back to the Kansas City area. And anyway, so then at this point, again, she was in her early 40s. She had 3 little boys, married to Charles, living in Kansas City. He was doing real estate deals. Things were going back and forth. And she was living with illness. Her family, she had grown up in a very strict religious family who had, in some ways, I'm sure it was helpful, but in other ways had given her some very negative messages about herself and about whatever, you know, about who God was and all that stuff. And so one thing that they had told her was that everybody in this family has tuberculosis and they die early, and guess what? You're next. So she was kind of hanging out, you know, waiting. Okay, when's it going to hit me? And not feeling well, and she tried all the medical things she knew to try, and it wasn't working. But then she and Charles had already been studying some things about metaphysics and about what we call now the New Thought movement, not New Age, New Thought movement, and understanding about a different concept of God, that God is good, all present, all wholeness, all well-being. And they were studying some of that, and then they were going to some lectures by a man named E.B. Weeks, who was a student of Emma Curtis Hopkins, who founded the Chicago School of Metaphysics, and was quite a dynamo and a teacher of teachers. And anyway, Myrtle heard him in one of these lectures one night. One of those things, you know, sometimes you heard the same thing. Yeah, I've heard this, I've heard this, I've heard this. And then somehow something sticks out to you and just grabs you. And that's what happened to Myrtle. He said, I'm a child of God and I do not inherit sickness. And that just grabbed Myrtle because she thought, that's the truth, and that's what I need to know. And it was one of those things that had all that light around it. Do you feel that sometimes? You just hear something, or you read something, or you hear a song, and it's just like, man, there's the light. It's all around it. And it's that God light. It's that light that's in us. And she took that to heart. And she decided, I am going to get well because I'm going to raise my boys, and I want to go forward in my life. And so she did something for 2 years. Every day for 2 years, she would sit down in a quiet spot in her room, and she would set a chair across from her, and she would set that chair for Jesus Christ. And she would sit down in her chair, and then she would go into her prayer time. And what she was holding that idea, I'm a child of God, and I do not inherit sickness. And she was going through her body temple, and she was asking every cell in her body, every organ, every tissue, please forgive me for thinking you were weak. Please forgive me for thinking you were sick. And then she would praise it. She would say, I see the light of God shining in you. in my lungs, in my respiratory system. I am whole and well. And she did that every day for 2 years. And at the end of that time, she was whole and well, and she lived a full life, and we're sitting here today because Myrtle did that. If she hadn't have done that, we wouldn't be here, because none of this would have happened. The unity movement. She's the heart of the unity movement. She's the one that convinced Charles. He was skeptical. And he saw what happened to her. Again, she did the work, so he saw it. He wasn't just listening to words. He saw Myrtle transform. And that's how the unity movement got started, basically. And here's something that happened to Myrtle. Again, she just wanted to get her problem fixed, right? But what happened was that she found God. She found that connection with the divine in a more profound way than ever. And she'd always been a mystic, but she found it in a deeper way. And here's what she realized. She realized that life was of God, that we are inseparably one with the source, that we inherit health from a divine father, mother. And so she began to live with God and to talk with God. And Myrtle transformed. Myrtle just wanted her problem solved. She just wanted to feel better. She just didn't want to be sick. But what happened was she got the gift of her own life. And what was the real healing, she got the cure. Sometimes we get the cure we want, sometimes we don't. It looks how it looks, but always the quality of life will go up. I guarantee you that. But the real healing is the transformation of consciousness. And what happened to her was she got a new concept of herself. She was shedding all that negative stuff she'd learned about God and about who she was, a worm of the dust or whatever. She let all that go, and she had a new understanding of who she was and a new understanding of who God was. She just wanted to solve her problem. She was in the dark, but the divine light caught up with her, right? That divine light that is within her. And her life was transformed, and she got the gift of her own life. So that when we get in the dark, it's not an invitation to give up. Do you ever want to give up when you're in the dark? I do. All the time. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah, that's normal. Because it's scary, right? It feels scary. It's like I can't see where I'm going. And whatever it is that our natural outer senses are, we feel like we've lost touch with one of them. Of course, we get scared, we get emotional, we get upset, and it seems to block us. But if we persist, we'll get the gift of our own life. We'll get the gift of an amazing renewal. Here's some thoughts from an anonymous source. It says anything, so when we get in the dark, these things that bother us, like annoyances, anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anybody who abandons you is teaching you to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you to take your power back. Anything that you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything that you fear is teaching you the courage to overcome your fear. And anything that you cannot control is teaching you to let go. Do you think we're getting a big lesson right now in the world? We really, really are, friends. That's really what's going on. As difficult and, for me, unpleasant as it all is, I promise you this is what's going on. We're finding the real road to tread upon. We're finding the sure way because we're in the dark and all that stuff's up. But we're through it as we just persist and are the teeniest, weeniest little bit willing. That light pops through and we get the gift of our own lives, the gift of our own freedom, the gift of our own courage, the gift of our own ability to stand up on our own 2 feet. Metaphysically, the meaning of light is wisdom. And so when that light pops through, what's happening is that we're experiencing wisdom, we're experiencing divine intelligence. We're experiencing the ability to know how to walk, to know what is the way. There's a beautiful verse in the book of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, who did not mince words, by the way, that says, when you tune in, I'm paraphrasing here, you will hear a voice behind you, and it will say, "This is the way, walk in it. This is the way, walk in it. And that's our job. That's our responsibility to our own lives. And it's frankly, friends, our responsibility to the world is to let that light just illuminate the path and to listen for that voice and to walk on the path that it's telling us to walk. I don't always want to do that. I'm like, that's too hard. No, surely not. But I've lived long enough to realize, just give it up. Just do it. Because it's always going to lead to the right place. So what did our brother, our teacher, our elder brother, and our way shower? We don't worship him in unity, but we consider Jesus Christ our elder brother, our teacher, our way shower, our friend. And here's some things that he had to say about light. And the first one, he said a lot about light, actually. But the first one I'm going to share with you is from the Gospel of John. And it is, if I can find it, where is it? What does it say? 8:12, thank you. It's always convenient when you got a PowerPoint up there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, here's what he said. He said, again, Jesus spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And he wasn't talking about his personality. He was talking about the I am, the divine space in all of us. I am the light of the world. Whoever believes in me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So that's reassuring. What he's telling us is the light's always with you. Even if you get scared, even if it seems like you can't see where you're going, know that there's divine light within you. And you can trust it, and it's never going to leave you. That's important to know, because it sure feels sometimes like it leaves us, right? But it doesn't. It never, ever leaves us. And then in the Gospel of Matthew, and this is in 5, verses 14 through 16, he says, you are the light of the world. So he's making it clear. He's talking about all of us. He says, you're the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under the bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father, Mother, in heaven. This is so important. This is one of the most important verses in this whole Gospels. Because what he's saying is, look, friends, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility, first, of course, to yourself, to connect with that light. And then you have a responsibility not to hide that light. You have a responsibility to walk around, like you're just glowing. I think it was Thomas Merton, a more contemporary mystic here. He's passed on from us, but he was a monk. And he said something to the effect, boy, I wish I could just show you how you're just walking around shining like the sun. I wish you knew that. Just own it. Because when we radiate the light that we are, friends, it raises the vibration of what's happening on earth plane. And we need that. And other people experience it. They may or may not know what it is at a conscious level. It doesn't make any difference. But they get it, and it helps them to have a little more courage to let that light shine in them. Again, it doesn't matter whatever thoughts they do or don't have about it. It's irrelevant. It's about what's happening. The other thing that's really helpful, and I do this a lot, it helps me feel better, and it helps the world, it raises things up, is to visualize light everywhere, especially in those places where you get bugged the most, where you get the most scared or you're the most angry or upset, is visualize light in people and around people. Just visualize this right here filled with light. Visualize your neighborhood filled with light. Visualize our country filled with light, our state filled with light, our world filled with light. And do it as often as it comes to mind. Friends, it matters, it makes a difference, because that's the truth. That's what's really going on. And the more that we do that, it takes away any support for whatever is heavy and dark and harmful and cruel and mean and stingy and ugly. It removes the support for that. Because light is the real reality. Light's just darkness is just the absence of light. We know that. And so when we visualize that light, which is the reality, it begins to move the underpinning of all. It's like we're lighting candles all over the place. It removes the underpinning for whatever seems so heavy and so dense. It matters. It makes a difference if we do that. And in your own way, however you do that, visualize the light in yourself, feel it, see it in everybody. And it really is that transformation of consciousness that's helping us move through this time. Ask Spirit to walk with you. Spirit's always within you. Spirit's also everywhere. However you phrase that, I like that phrase. You might choose a different phrase. That's okay. Walk with me through this. Walk with me on this road. I got my eyes closed. It's dark. Walk with me through this. And it makes a difference. It absolutely, because God's not anymore God. Spirit's not anymore Spirit. It's just that I'm more open to it, right? That's what it's all about. That's what metaphysics is all about. It's all about how open am I to the spiritual reality. Let me share this with you about, Charles Fillmore wrote this. He said, now these illusions crumble, meaning the illusions of darkness, into nothingness, and your clear consciousness recognizes its own. At the center of the mind of every person is the light, the white light of spirit. To fan this white light at the center of your being by proclaiming, fan to a flame this white light at the center of your being by proclaiming your identity with Christ, with your spiritual identity. The salvation of the world, and he's not talking about, not going to hell. That's not what he means. He's talking about the transformation of consciousness. Rests with those who join the Christ, who join Spirit, and thereby bring peace and goodwill to all people. When the light of Christ comes to any man, it does not confine its rays to his consciousness alone, but to those who sit in darkness and negation. They will feel its power. Corrie ten Boom, who was an amazing woman, and she was a Dutch citizen in the Second World War. She hid Jewish people from the Nazis. She got caught, sent to a concentration camp, and in an amazing way, just one day they walked in and said, you can leave now. Okay, thank you. She's a great person, a great faith. And one of the many things that she said and wrote was, when you get on the train and it's going through a tunnel and it gets really dark, you do not hop off the train. You stay on the train and trust the engineer. You trust the engineer to get you out of the tunnel and into the light. In one of my ministries, long ago and far away in another galaxy, there was a little boy named Bobby. He was quite a character. He was rambunctious, and he was sort of our pet, he was the church pet kind of. And he was quite rambunctious. He was about 3 years old at this time, and his mom would bring him to class, and because she didn't have a babysitter, so she would bring him to class. And one night, there was a little circle of us sitting in class, and we were at the point where we were doing the meditation. So it was night, so we had turned the lights off, and we had lit the Christ candle, and we were sitting there all being really holy, and meditating and all that. And all of a sudden, we heard this. And this little voice says, Mom, it's dark, I'm scared. Of course, we all laughed. And she scooped him up and held him close and comforted him, and somebody else got up and relit the candle. I'll never let him forget this, okay? That's what Spirit does. When we blow out the candle, or the candle blows out in the wind, or whatever happens to it, and we say, I'm scared, it's dark. Know that Spirit scoops you up, holds you, comforts you, reassures you, and relights the light. Let's just take a quick moment in prayer before we hear John again. Sweet Spirit, thank you so much for the gift of light. Open us up to deeper trust in it. And so it is. Amen.
Some say some who wander may not be lost. The heart is the compass, and time is the cause. But how far should one go? Does anyone get to know? It feels like beyond no return. Well, I've stood and I've stared at the vanishing stars. I've counted rare rubies on Mars. Oh, but nothing compares to the light in your eyes. Mi bonita, mi amor, mi siempre. On this side of forever lives a beautiful dream. I hope you know to me, you mean everything. The light from your eyes to guide me through my nights. Mi bonita, mi amor, mi siempre. Light from your eyes to guide me through my nights. Mi bonita, mi amor, mi siempre.
Thank you. Thank you, John. And so now let's move into a time of prayer and meditation. So I invite you to be aware of yourself in this time and place. Be aware of your body temple. Notice your breath. And as you breathe in that rhythm that's your natural rhythm of life, I invite you to simply let go and let God, to allow Spirit to help you relax, that Spirit within you and all around you that's holding you close, reassuring you that the light is always, always within you and around you. Feel relaxation as it moves from the crown of your head through your face and neck and shoulders and arms and hands. And allow relaxation to move through the trunk of your body and through your legs and feet. And gently feel the presence of Spirit within your heart as love. And feel that love that you are as it circulates throughout your body temple, touching every cell, filling every thought in your mind, blessing your soul. And know this truth with me. I am divine love. I am divine light. Whatever it may be that is of concern to you right now, if you want to bring it up in your mind, you can. You don't have to. Just take a look at it and visualize yourself putting it into the light. I just put this situation into the light. Yeah, I just want to feel better. I want it solved. And I'm willing to receive the bigger gift of the understanding of who I am, my relationship to light, my relationship to Spirit. I let this go into the light of Spirit. I relax, I release, I trust. The light of God fills me and surrounds me. This thing which has felt so much in the dark for me, I now see filled with light. And I trust it works out in the way that it is best. and I receive the gift of my own life. And we take a moment now in the quiet. Sweet Spirit, thank you so much for the gift of light. Thank you so much for your voice saying, this is the way, walk in it. It's flooded with light. Walk in this way. And I say yes. Yes, yes, yes. And now we come to the close of this time of prayer and meditation. Very gently and easily now, moving back into a waking awareness. Being aware of our feet on the floor, our back against the chair, bringing our eyes up behind our eyes, our awareness up behind our eyes. And when we're ready, opening our eyes and taking a look around, seeing God's face, seeing the light everywhere. We affirm this prayer in the name and nature of our brother and way shower, Jesus the Christ, and the Christ in us. Amen.
Can I talk a little bit? Holly's birthday was yesterday, so yeah, happy birthday. I can play another song I wrote, or we can sing happy birthday. Would you? Happy birthday? I'll start. I don't actually know how to play happy birthday, but I'm gonna sing it. If you'll help me, I'll sing it with you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holly. Happy birthday to you. I asked her if that would be okay, because I know she doesn't like the spotlight to be on her, I don't think, so much. Which is a shame, because the light should always be on her. And I really enjoy her friendship, and she's the one that asked me to come here. And you've asked me to come back by showing up today. Thank you so much. Is it okay if I play one more song? It's really easy for me to get here, and everybody always says, thanks so much for coming. I live in St. Joseph, Missouri, and it's a really interesting town. I'm trying to decide right now between two different songs, so that's what I talk to kind of help me talk through what I'm about to do. St. Joseph, if you've ever been there, makes Lawrence look like just an oasis of intelligent people and love. And there's a lot of intelligent people in St. Joe too. I shouldn't say it that way, but it's so nice to be here. And it's such a beautiful space. And if you ever need anyone to come and tell you that you're doing good and righteous things, I will come and tell you. Thank you for having me. I'll do this one. This is one I planned to play, and then Holly said the second one should be soft and quiet. And this one gets a little rowdy sometimes, so it's about finding the light and overcoming racism.
I am an astronaut from a crop duster town, standing guard while they try to burn her down. I may seem constant, but I am changed. My heart is bleeding and my thoughts are rearranged. Don't be distracted now. Keep your wits about you now. This is their circus and he's their clown. Don't be lost in a crowd. Born in black and white, now I am free. I have found the full spectrum, the light guides me. I read their words, seen their signs, all those canaries in the virtual coal mines. Don't be distracted now. Keep your wits about you now. This is their circus, he's their clown. And don't be lost in the crowd. Your mother had a lover, it may not have been your father. There is everything in this world but absolutes. When you go home at night and your anthem's blaring aloud, can you tell me which flag you salute? Don't be distracted now. Keep your wits about you now. This is their circus, he's their clown. Don't be lost in the crowd. Now I only look behind so I might see how far I've come and who is with me. I'm an astronaut from a crop duster town, coming down.
Thank you, John. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing Everything That I Am.
Ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. I am the I am, 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 I am the I am.
And here is our prayer of thanks. We are grateful and bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth, returning again and again, and so it is. Amen. And now it's time for opportunities. First, I would like to invite Unity Board Member Aaron Norris to come up and share a few announcements.
Hello. For those of you that don't know me, Erin Norris, I'm a board member here. Most importantly, I'm the activities coordinator. And I want you to know, thank you from the whole entire board for filling out that survey. I want you to know that we heard you, we listened, we see you, and we are here to respond. So, we've created a bunch of activities. So one group, we're gonna have some adult study classes. First one coming up in August, it'll start August 17th. Reverend Edna is gonna offer a new members orientation class. Yeah. And starting in September, Reverend Anna is gonna be offering a prosperity class that will go on for a while. We will also be having kind of an opportunity for us all to come together and have more of a workshop, discussion, lecture type of event on one Friday evening a month. First one coming up, Phil Rogers has graciously offered to lead, talking about finding your inner calm in the eye of the storm. We also have Marceline Felt is going to do an art activity with us one month, and we also have Marty Stimmerman will lead us in a shamanic journey. So we have a lot of really good things coming up, and we'll do it again one Friday every month till the end of the year. You can see the details on the board outside. There's a couple more dates to be determined, so if you have ideas, suggestions, opportunities, please, please, my contact info is out there too. Call me, email me, whatever, let's talk, okay? And then the last thing, we have sound healing. Holly and her group has graciously offered to do a quarterly sound healing event with our groups. And so those will probably be on a Saturday afternoon. We're still working out the details. So please, when you come in on Sundays, we'll send them out in the emails. We'll get them in the bulletin boards. We'll, spam Facebook, whatever we got to do. But most information will also be posted out there on the events calendar. So I know that we all want deeper connection. We all want to be better in our understanding of our connection to Sweet Spirit, and most of us don't want to put pants on and come out here and meet people vulnerably, right? Show up. The magic happens when we're together. So please, I encourage you all. I'm going to be here. I invite you all to come. Let's get to know each other better. Let's deepen our connection. Let's get closer to the universe and just have a really good time together. So you asked for it. Here it is. Now you just got to show up and do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information about the Unity of Lawrence and the Unity Movement, please pick up a welcome packet in the foyer. Community with board chats. Financing our vision. Where are we? Where would we like to go? We invite you to join in this important conversation today immediately after the service. This is a great opportunity to learn more and share your vision for this spiritual community.
And donuts.
Oh, guess what? There's donuts. Awesome. And speaking of donuts, the Lunch Bunch will meet following the service today at Hoo Hot Grill, 2525 Iowa. Everyone is welcome. I'd also like to thank you all for your great support for the successful after-school program. We got a lot of stuff, and we're grateful for your participation. And we have an opportunity to provide a meal and some needed groceries for our Family Promise community on September 14th and 15th. 2 meal hosts are needed for each evening. Please sign up in the foyer if you can serve in this meaningful way. Contact Pat Phillips or Marty with any questions. Join us next Sunday when Diane Silver brings us the message, Claiming Our Faith. Catherine Lorenzen will provide our special music. Unity of Lawrence has received a special invitation from Reverend Darlene Strickland to come to a one-of-a-kind immersive gathering of music, message, and spirit on Saturday, August 9th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Unity Village. Kelly Hunt and Stephanie Bland will be joining Reverend Darlene for this special service as a part of the Fillmore Festival going on at the Village this weekend, or that weekend. Please sign up in the foyer or contact Marty in the church office no later than Wednesday, August 6th, if you would like to be placed on the guest list for this inspiring event. Remember, open meditation takes place on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Men's group gathers on Thursdays at 7 p.m., bringing those who identify as male and non-binary people together in a safe place where they can learn to open their hearts and minds and truly be heard by others in an accepting environment. Join Francesca for Italian classes on Friday at 5:30 p.m. See Francesca for questions. If you are able, please stay to join the conversation with the Unity of Lawrence Board. Thank you. And it is now time for the peace song. Please.